From the crisp, tactile feel of a freshly printed dollar bill to the heavy, cool glint of a gold bar, money has always held a powerful, almost primal allure. It represents not just a medium of exchange, but freedom, security, and status. Our relationship with money is deeply rooted in our psychology, a complex interplay of desires, fears, and perceptions that often operate beneath conscious thought. This visual journey begins by examining the raw, tangible representations of value that first capture our attention, setting the stage for how these ancient impulses are manipulated in the modern world. The physical act of handling cash, counting thick stacks, creates a tangible connection to our spending. Yet, the financial landscape has undergone a radical transformation. The deliberate exchange of bills is increasingly replaced by seamless, digital transactions. This shift, from concrete currency to invisible data, alters our perception of value and the pain of paying. Researchers suggest that the less tangible money feels, the easier it is to part with it, a critical insight into modern consumer behavior that marketers actively leverage. Contactless payments, facilitated by sleek credit cards and glowing smartphone screens, exemplify this psychological detachment. The friction of payment is minimized, creating an instant gratification loop. Studies indicate that the ease of digital transactions can make consumers less aware of their spending, blurring the lines between wants and needs. This seamless experience is further amplified in high-end cafes and luxury retail, where the environment itself encourages a sense of abundance and effortless acquisition. The psychological cost of a purchase is dramatically reduced. Stepping into a supermarket reveals a meticulously crafted psychological battleground. Every aisle, every shelf, is designed not just for convenience, but to influence purchasing decisions. Researchers in neuromarketing highlight how store layouts, lighting, and even ambient music are engineered to steer consumers. From the moment a cart is pushed through crowded aisles, the environment primes specific behaviors, often leading to unplanned purchases. It's a complex dance between a shopper's intentions and the environment's subtle, yet powerful, nudges. One of the most effective retail strategies exploits our visual habits, placing high-margin or promoted products at eye level. Studies show that products positioned here are significantly more likely to be purchased. This isn't accidental, it's a deliberate application of priming in consumer psychology. When confronted with choice overload, too many options, shoppers often default to what's most easily accessible. Cash registers, too, are optimized for impulse buys, strategically placing small, appealing items where attention is momentarily held, a final psychological nudge before checkout. Psychological pricing strategies, such as anchoring bias, are pervasive. This bias occurs when an initial piece of information, like a high original price, heavily influences our subsequent decisions, making a sale price seem more attractive, even if it's still expensive. Researchers note that this cognitive shortcut helps consumers rationalize purchases. Rapid barcode scanning at cash registers, while efficient, also prevents a moment of reflection, cementing the purchase before reconsideration. This dynamic ensures that value perception is often more influential than actual cost. Casinos are perhaps the ultimate laboratories for financial psychology. Within their windowless, dramatically lit rooms, every element is meticulously engineered to encourage continued play. From the flashing slot machines and spinning roulette wheels to the absence of natural light, the environment is designed to distort time and amplify engagement. Neuromarketing principles are heavily deployed, using specific colors, sounds, and ambient conditions to create an immersive, almost hypnotic state, a carefully constructed world separate from external realities, where spending money becomes a blurred activity. A key psychological trap in gambling is the illusion of control. Players often believe they can influence random outcomes, whether through lucky rituals, specific betting patterns, or a perceived skill in games of pure chance. This bias is particularly potent in activities like rolling dice or pulling a slot lever, where the physical interaction creates a false sense of agency. Psychologists identify this as a powerful motivator for continued play, even in the face of consistent losses, overriding logical assessments of probability and reinforcing irrational hope. Loss aversion, a core principle in behavioral economics, states that people feel the pain of losses far more intensely than the pleasure of equivalent gains. In a casino, this means the sting of losing a bet can be twice as powerful as the satisfaction of winning the same amount. This profound emotional asymmetry often compels players to chase losses, attempting to recover what was lost rather than simply walking away. The moody, high-contrast lighting of casino rooms further enhances this dramatic emotional landscape, heightening the tension and reinforcing the cycle. Beyond the casino, sophisticated psychological tactics influence everyday decisions. Decoy pricing is a prime example. Imagine 3 coffee cups, small, medium, and large. If the medium is priced very close to the small, but the large offers significantly more for only a slightly higher price than the medium, consumers are disproportionately drawn to the large. The medium cup acts as a decoy, making the most expensive options seem like the best value. This is a subtle manipulation of choice, guiding consumers towards a specific, higher profit purchase without explicit coercion. This manipulation extends directly to our digital lives. The glowing Buy Now button on a smartphone screen embodies a powerful blend of scarcity and urgency and instant gratification. Limited time offers, countdown timers, and exclusive deals trigger an immediate, often impulsive, response. Psychologists affirm that this combination bypasses rational deliberation, exploiting our inherent desire for quick rewards and fear of missing out. The swiftness of the digital transaction, much like contactless payments, further reduces the cognitive effort required to complete a purchase. In the high-stakes world of corporate finance, psychological forces are magnified. Professional traders in luxury corporate offices, surrounded by multiple glowing screens displaying complex stock market charts and cryptocurrency candlestick patterns, face immense pressure. Their decisions, often made in fractions of a second, are not purely rational. Researchers highlight how stress in the intense, fast-paced environment can significantly impair judgment, leading to heuristic shortcuts rather than exhaustive analysis. The constant influx of data demands rapid processing, pushing human cognitive limits. Even seasoned investors are not immune to cognitive biases. Overconfidence often leads traders to underestimate risks and overestimate their abilities, a phenomenon consistently observed in market analysis. Confirmation bias further compounds this, as individuals seek out and interpret information in a way that confirms their existing beliefs, disregarding contradictory evidence. This selective perception can lead to significant financial missteps. Studies of market movements frequently point to these biases as contributing factors to irrational exuberance or panic, despite the availability of objective data. Financial markets are profoundly influenced by herding behavior, where individuals follow the actions of a larger group, often ignoring their own analysis or fundamental indicators. This social proof can create market bubbles, particularly evident in volatile sectors like cryptocurrency. The fear of missing out, combined with the desire to conform, drives collective action. Researchers note that this behavior can amplify trends, both upwards and downwards, creating rapid market shifts that defy purely rational explanation. The perceived wisdom of the crowd often overrides individual scrutiny. A growing trend in modern finance and retail is gamification, applying game design elements and game principles in non-game contexts. This often translates to financial apps offering points, badges, or leaderboards for saving, investing, or spending. Psychologists suggest this taps into our desire for achievement and competition, encouraging more frequent engagement and decision-making. Coupled with instant gratification through immediate feedback, these platforms skillfully influence financial habits, sometimes making complex investment decisions feel like a simple game, rather than a serious financial commitment. Our brains often engage in mental accounting, treating money differently based on its source or intended use. For instance, windfall money, like a bonus or lottery win, might be spent more freely than earned income, even though functionally it's all the same. This cognitive bias impacts everything from retail splurges to investment decisions. In casinos, house money is gambled with less caution. In corporate finance, departmental budgets can lead to suboptimal spending if managers focus solely on their allocation rather than overall corporate efficiency. Understanding these mental compartments is crucial. Another powerful psychological force is the endowment effect, where we place a higher value on items we own simply because we possess them. This bias can manifest in retail, making us reluctant to return an item once we brought it home, even if it's not quite right. In finance, it can lead investors to hold on to underperforming stocks for too long, valuing them more highly than their market worth, just because they own them. This emotional attachment often overrides logical assessment, impacting both consumer choices and corporate asset management decisions significantly. From the flashing lights of a casino to the sophisticated algorithms behind your digital payments, our financial lives are constantly influenced by a complex web of psychological triggers and biases. Understanding these underlying mechanisms, from anchoring and loss aversion to herding and the endowment effect, is the first step toward reclaiming agency over our financial decisions. By recognizing how environments, both physical and digital, are designed to shape our choices, we can navigate the modern financial landscape with greater awareness and make more deliberate, informed choices, rather than simply reacting to unseen influences.